The CIDP always appreciates this opportunity to come and present to industry stakeholders with regards to the work that we are doing, and also use this opportunity to also learn from the business councils. I send greetings from our board and the CEO and the rest of the CIDP. Good morning to everyone gathered here. It's still, good. It's no longer morning now. The leadership of the BBCBE and all the employees and all the industry colleagues, and also the various other stakeholders. I saw Patricia from CBE and others. Welcome. My presentation again will look at how do we as the CIDP also contributes towards ensuring that the construction industry uses the best that comes out of the fourth industrial revolution, and how we can best equip our industry for it to be efficient. I know my chief executive has spoken to the Black Business Council in the built environment, so I'm not going to go on a lot about our mandates because I think many members know. But again, I will take guidance from all the participants if there are areas that I need to focus on. I think relating to the topic that we are discussing today, what is important is that as part of our mandate as the CIDP, we are here to provide uniformity in the construction industry, procurement. And what is even more important, and where technology plays a part, is around the issues of efficient and effective infrastructure delivery and the construction industry performance improvement, which again, we know that going past the pandemic, as a country, we will be looking into the built environment as one of the core catalysts for economic development. Our vision, again, I think it's quite important that, we want to be an inclusive, ethical, and contribute to the prosperity of South Africa. And that can only be achieved through really efficiency, effectiveness, innovation, ethical behavior, accessibility, and agility, which I think talks to a lot what we are discussing today. As the CIDP, where I think our roadmap towards inclusion of the fourth industrial revolution in the construction sector, and again, I will also rely a lot on my previous experiences in both the public and the private sector in terms of how we've incorporated the fourth industrial revolution in our day-to-day work in the industry. Well, I think the basis, again, what is quite important is that we must have the basic engineering and construction skills which are required for individuals and companies in order to be able to use the tools that are provided by the fourth industrial revolution to enhance. And I'll explain this a bit because I think it's quite important. We are looking and in transforming our construction industry, in putting in a lot of support through our build program to creating the skills that are required. So the minimum requirements that are actually required for someone to be meaningfully engaged in the industry. And I'll go back to that point in my next slide. So the starting block is to have the domain knowledge. And then these new technologies like your data science or your data analytics will help. One example that I've come across in my career also regarding this is when we were doing predictive analysis in water systems in order to ensure how we reduce leaks and also extend the lifespan of the piping system. The basics that we needed to understand was the basics of hydraulics, as a starting point, so that you get in your undergraduate or in your training as an engineer. But then now you use your data analytics to be able to assess how quickly can we respond to changing demands, or how quickly do we respond to a changing electricity tariff. So combining those two skills enables you to innovate and also to have good results. So we're going back to the basics and saying there are some basic skills that we need to be imparting on our youth and also people that are involved so that we can, Number two, we are quite involved as the CIDB and other entities of Department of Public Works and Infrastructure on the BRICS Future Skills program. So what we are looking at there, we've sort of come up with what are the top skills that will be required in the construction industry for the future. So that will be your BIM, for instance, your drone technology, for instance. So as a CIDB, what we've done in the past, and I'm happy to, again, discuss a lot of these initiatives in more details, is that we've also sponsored conferences to bring, top researchers around the world to South Africa. We had a conference in 2018 that we hosted in collaboration with the University of Johannesburg, where again, we were discussing as to what are these future skills and practically now support participants and students in participating in that. Because again, the building information system, where again, the CID plays a part, where we put out standards, that is BIM, some called building information system management, some called better information management. But again, that becomes the basis for other technologies like your digital twins, which are the future technologies that ensure efficiency. So how we collect, how we organize data, we are trying to, and we'll do that also through the most important tools that we have, our ability to regulate, our ability to put in standards in place. There's a standard that we are currently drawing up now on BIM that we are hoping to put out before the end of the year, that will help to transition the industry towards BIM compliant. Because again, with the fourth industrial revolution, a lot of it has to do with data and how data is organized and how do you enhance and manipulate the data to give you better insight. So that's where another area where the CIDB, again, working with universities through the centers of excellence that we sponsor, or the various students that we sponsor, and the FET colleges that we sponsor, in the future skills that are required. And then again, my last point on this, in terms of our roadmap as a CIDB, we do have a power to regulate through our act, which is currently going review, in terms of how we can bring uniformity in the industry, and also how we can enhance the effectiveness of the industry. So that is one of the tools that we have to use in order to bring better efficiencies in the industry. Yeah. I referred to the BUILD program, where I was saying the basics, you need to also get the basics correct in order for you to enable the industry to be more efficient, So with our BUILD scheme, which is taking us back to that, ensuring that we do have efficient, effective, and a clear industry, construction industry. We are focusing on 3 pillars there: enterprise development through the indirect targeting standard that that the minister signed last year into law, and then the direct skills development and the skills development agency, which is the second one, and also what, again, my previous speaker was also discussing from our sister body, the CBE, regarding the direct lending to SMMEs, because those are the 3 components that we think are quite important, and it's something that I think we will need to come back to the CBE at one point, or discuss it even now. What does that actually mean for the various components? So on the first one, the enterprise development, in order to develop enterprises, we need to provide support in issues like management systems, in issues like understanding of technologies, in issues like regulating to ensuring that these new technologies are accessible and usable in South Africa, and then also the basic skills that I was discussing, and the issues of funding. We can discuss into more details, and then I will leave this with the colleagues. These were just the development initiatives that we wanted to put into place over the next 5 years, which total above $1 billion in terms of the development, where we are talking about enterprise development, skills development, and the direct lending too. I think we will share the presentation, I believe, so we can discuss those into more details, or actually have other sessions around that. So to be short, because I do truly value engagements with the industry colleagues as they are dealing with some of these problems on a daily basis, I would like to provide more time for discussions around that as to the roadmap or as to how we are going to infuse the fourth industrial revolution in the construction sector and the various standards that we've put in place. So, Madam Chair, the presented part of the presentation is that I would like, if possible or later on, for us to have an engagement around these topics.